Take a deep breath in and sigh it out. Unlike some of our other practices, we're not going to be using Ujjayi breath today. You're just going to be using a deep, focused breath. And take a deep breath in, feeling that breath come all the way into the pit of your belly. And then sigh it out. And give yourself about 5 more deep breaths like that. Just deep, steady belly breathing. Allowing yourself to set aside any of the distractions that might be going on for you. And giving yourself permission for the next 45 minutes to an hour to just be still. And to recognize that for this practice, there is no such thing as perfection. This is just about going internal and relaxing and allowing your body to open up a little bit. When you feel ready, you're going to come down onto your back and run your legs either up a wall, up the back of a couch, whatever it is that you can use. Idea here is just to get your legs over your head, but then giving them some support so you're not having to do anything at all to keep them there. Legs can be as straight as feels good for you. You have the option, if you'd like, of adding a little weight to your feet. You can add a pillow or a block. Even if you don't have one now, it's an option for future. For some people, it lets this posture feel a little bit more grounded. For some people, it's just too much work to bother with. So either way is totally fine. Arms can relax, falling wherever feels comfortable for you. Having them on your body will allow you to feel more connected, more grounded. Having them open wide can be more receiving. So whatever energy you need, whatever posture is going to feel best for you and allow you to really settle in is the one you're going to want to take. And we're going to be staying in every shape that we take for several minutes. And unlike many yin classes, most of these postures will not be terribly uncomfortable. Which gives you the opportunity to just focus on relaxing, noticing what it feels like to have your legs overhead. At some point, your feet start to tingle. And if you are someone whose mind tends to wander in these kinds of shapes, give yourself something to focus on. It can be as simple as counting your breath, trying to see if you can count all the way up to 10 breaths. If you get there, begin again. Knowing that it is very often the case that you will lose track of your breath about halfway through and simply begin again. You can allow your focus to drift to a soft sound around you, allowing that small, soft sound to get bigger and bigger. And we start this practice with this particular shape because having your legs up the wall like this, also called waterfall, is a very calming posture. It's one that's often recommended for insomnia. It's recommended for those times when you're feeling anxiety and you just need something to help calm everything down. There is something physiological about having your legs up and supported. It calms your nervous system and helps you start to drift into a place of rest and relaxation and restoration. And take 10 more deep breaths right here. Allowing each breath to be a little bit bigger than the one before. Never allowing the breath to become truly effortful, simply intentional. And if you are someone for whom visualization is a powerful tool, you can visualize healing and peace coming in with every inhale, however you see that, and tension and stress flowing away with every exhale. And at the end of around 10 breaths or so, if you've lost track, give it another breath or two. End of those breaths, all you're going to do is simply let your legs start to fall apart from one another. So still supported on the wall, but letting them start to drop open. If you have enough space for them to fall very far open, you will get a deep adductor stretch. If you don't have enough space, that's okay. You're just simply taking a different variation of waterfall, and that's still fine. You'll still get benefits. No stressing about what space you have available to you, just working with what is around you. And from this point forward, every posture we will take is going to be a gentle version of a deep stretch. Where traditionally, to open up here through the adductors, you would have to hold yourself up and walk yourself forward. And it takes effort and attention. Here you can simply relax and breathe, and gravity will do everything for you. And it's a wonderful, safe way to deepen your stretches because your body will not allow you to go too far. That gravity is gentle enough because it doesn't come with the addition of body weight. You only go as far as your body can support. These tend to serve to simply open the body rather than enhance flexibility. But in many cases, we don't actually need to enhance our flexibility in this range. We just simply need to bring in relaxation and allow the muscles to open up to their own natural extent. As you drift deeper into rich, full breath, begin to notice where you can feel that breath throughout your body. All of the little subtle changes that take place throughout your body as you inhale and as you exhale. Noticing that even muscles that aren't remotely connected to the physical act of breathing still experience minor shifts with every in and exhale. And more full breaths. These last breaths in every posture, it's your chance to go a little bit deeper if that's what you need, or to become a little bit more present so that you're prepared to shift to our next stage. At the end of these 10 breaths, you will keep your legs wide as they are, but you'll begin to bend your knees until you can plant your feet onto the wall. If you're familiar with a frog pose in yoga, it's very much like frog pose, but simply inverted, so you're on your back rather than on your stomach. You need to take a glance up. You can see what Mike is doing in case my instructions aren't clear enough. And if as you come into this shape, you don't feel much in it, you can take your hands and place the backs of your hands against your knees so you're pressing down on your knees. It's a very gentle way to slightly deepen the shape. And finding just a further way to open up here by changing the posture, we slightly change which muscles are being affected. And what we're practicing here today is more accurately called restorative yoga than it is yin yoga, because it is an even further step into rest and recuperation. This is a style of yoga that goes hand in hand with physical therapy, with healing from injury. But it is also a style that is gaining in popularity because our society is so focused on constant movement and constant striving. And we have devalued the things that allow us to recuperate so that we can step back into doing those things that we might find fulfilling or that might be necessary. And for many of us, it can be difficult to stay still and to simply rest into these sorts of postures. If you are someone that likes to be moving, and doing all the time, but remembering that you earn this time, that it's important and valuable, that our bodies and our minds need restoration every bit as much as they need effort. Ten more deep breaths right here. At the end of those 10 full breaths, bring the soles of your feet to touch, knees bent and open wide. Essentially taking Supta Baddha Konasana simply with the legs supported on the wall. Again, if you need more, your hands can gently press into your knees if you feel the need to deepen the posture. As you stay in these shapes of stillness, you may find that your mind tries to distract you, brings up thoughts. Rather than trying to force those thoughts away, simply notice what they are, acknowledge them, and then shift your focus back into breathing or into the physical experience of your body. The more we struggle to push thoughts away, the more insistent they tend to become. So simply by acknowledging them, by recognizing that something is calling to you for a reason, acknowledging that it exists, and then shifting your focus, that thought can often settle back into the background or simply move away if it's unneeded. 10 more deep, focused breaths. At the end of those breaths, take your legs back up the wall to where we began our practice. You're going to take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee, bending that right leg. And once you get there, you'll begin to walk the left leg down the wall, bending your leg as much as you need to begin to feel sensation in your right hip. As much as possible, allowing your hips to stay grounded on the floor. Aiming to feel this in the outside of the right hip, though if you feel it somewhere else, that's not unexpected. You're going to feel it wherever you personally have tension within your body. So though the intention is to feel it in the outside of the right hip, if something else is dominant, that's simply the area that needs attention and concern in this moment. And as with our other postures, if you need more intensity, your right hand can come to the right knee and gently nudge it further away from you. As always, being gentle with each of these shapes. In this particular pose, as you stay in it, you may find that you need to walk that left foot further down the wall as you settle into the posture. And remember that we're looking for a very gentle level of intensity here. So if you find that this pose becomes painful or overly intense, you can simply walk the left leg a little further up the wall to ease back out of the posture. Ten more full breaths. At the end of those breaths, rather than taking it to the second side, we're going to instead move into a separate position on this side. So when you are ready, you're going to let your legs start to drop to the left. You may have to see where you want your legs to be for this. You could keep your legs as they are, simply letting your legs drop to the left. You could cross your legs further, or you could uncross your legs entirely, allowing your legs to be stacked. But trying to allow your knees to drop as far to the left as possible. Feet can go with them if they'd like. Just finding a very easy, gentle twist. So a subtle twist to the back. Some people even prefer to take their legs all the way up the wall and then let them drop to the left. So taking a moment to experiment a little bit to see what feels good to you, what you have space for. Mhm. And again, the idea here is just to take an easy twist. So taking this however you feel like you need to take it. There's no right or wrong. So long as you are feeling some gentle twisting motion through your spine and you feel that you can stay in the pose for several breaths. Take about 10 more breaths here in this shape. And then you will find that figure four up the wall on the other side. So you move as you feel ready to move. As we begin to approach the end of your practice, check back in with your breath, seeing if it has become shallow. If so, simply begin to deepen it again, recommitting to that full, rich breath and staying intentional with it. And more deep breaths. And allow yourself to drop into your twist to the second side, knowing it's absolutely okay if that twist takes a different shape on the second side. 10 more breaths right here in this twist. At the end of those 10 breaths, you can either transition taking your legs back up the wall. You can shift all the way back, taking yourself out long and flat for a traditional Shavasana. Finding whatever shape you'd like to end your practice in. And as you make your way into that final shape, you can begin to release intentional breath. Release the need to hold on to anything physically. And take a deep breath in and sigh out your practice. Shavasana. Take a deep breath in. Sigh it out. Bring some easy movements back to your body, wiggling fingers and toes, gently beginning to wake yourself up. And stretch yourself out long. And then curl yourself onto one side to pause for a moment. As you then make your way into a comfortable seat. No hurry or rush. Oftentimes after restorative practice, it takes a few extra moments to come back to yourself. It's almost like coming out of a deep sleep. So move easily and gently. And as you come back to that comfortable seat, you can draw your hands to heart center. The light within me sees, honors, and respects the beautiful light within each and every one of you. Open our eyes, and to one another we say, Namaste.